Okay, so have you ever had one of those moments, where everything you thought defined you just gets stripped away?
Oh, absolutely. Where
Yeah.
you feel completely exposed, really tested,
Eh.
maybe even, broken.
It's such a gut-wrenching feeling, isn't it? A
Yeah,
struggle that makes you question, well, everything.
definitely. But what if those moments,
Mm.
what one expert we're looking at calls the all is lost moment,
Mm.
what if they're actually where we find our deepest strength, our authentic self?
That's exactly what we're diving into today. Finding that power in our essential nature, especially when the chips are really, really down. And we're pulling from some fascinating sources here, gathered under the idea of the crucible of authenticity. We've got insights from figures like Stephen Pressfield, Thich Nhat Hanh, Tolstoy.
Goethe, Seneca, Van Gogh, too, and even modern thinkers like Simon Sinek. It's quite a mix.
It really is a rich tapestry, all pointing towards something profound about who we are when everything else just crumbles.
Right. So our goal today really is to unpack how these moments of vulnerability aren't just hardships you grit your teeth through.
They're more than that.
Yeah, they're crucibles, places where your most authentic strength is actually forged. We want to explore how to navigate them, what they reveal about who you really are underneath it all.
Beneath the roles and the expectations.
Exactly. And how to maybe harness that raw essence to build a life that's more resilient, more meaningful. Think of it like intense personal training for your truest self.
Okay, I like that framing. So let's unpack this core concept first, this all is lost moment from Stephen Pressfield.
hmm
He describes it as that pivotal point in a story or in life where the hero is just reduced to the naked core of their being.
It's not just a bad day, is it?
No, no, it's not just a setback. It's the absolute bottom, the point where you feel you've lost everything and have to decide if there's anything left inside to fight with. And to make this really concrete, there's that powerful example from the movie Hidalgo.
Ah, yeah, with Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
Great illustration.
Right, he plays Frank Hopkins, who is a real historical figure, a long-distance horse racer.
And the race in the film, it's brutal. Like 3,000 miles across Arabia, Iraq, Syria, late 19th century. Just imagine.
Pitting his American Mustang, Hidalgo, against these prized Arabian horses, the strain, the environment, it's immense.
And then it hits the all is lost moment.
Right, they're almost there, like sprinting distance from the finish line, and Hidalgo, his partner, his only companion out there, just collapses.
Utter exhaustion. Looks like he's dying.
Exactly. And Hopkins himself is barely functional, near hallucinatory from heat, fatigue, dehydration.
It's the absolute breaking point.
It is. And he actually has his .45 drawn ready to, put Hidalgo out of his misery. It's that level of despair.
Oh,
Everything is gone in that moment. The goal, the race, his partner, his hope. He's just raw.
yeah.
Facing this choice where giving up seems like the only kind, logical thing to do.
And what's so key about that moment, that all is lost moment, is it's not just for dramatic effect in a story. Its real purpose is transformative.
How so?
It breaks the hero down to their absolute emotional, moral, spiritual essence. It's where you, the audience, or you, the person living it, find out what someone is really made of.
When all the external stuff is gone.
Precisely. It's the ultimate character test. No more hiding behind reputation or achievement. Just the core. And that's why these moments scare us so much in our own lives, isn't it? They threaten to reveal who we are beneath the roles, the job titles, the relationships, all the things we use to define ourselves.
The facades we build.
Yeah, the carefully maintained facades, the stories we tell ourselves. Losing those feels like annihilation.
But you're saying it's not punishment.
I think the wisdom here suggests it isn't punishment, it's revelation. A painful one, sure, but it's an invitation to connect with a truer self that's always been there, maybe just buried.
Buried under all the noise.
Right. It forces the question. When everything external is stripped away, what's left? And maybe more importantly, is that enough?
Okay, so let's say we survive that moment. We emerge, stripped down, maybe feeling incredibly raw. What's next? How do we move forward from that core?
Well, a big part of it, maybe surprisingly, seems to be about work. But not necessarily work in the 9-to-5 sense.
Right, you mentioned Thich Nhat Hanh earlier. He has this beautiful idea.
Yes, that quote, keeping your body healthy is an expression of gratitude to the whole cosmos. The trees, the clouds, everything.
So self-care as work, but like sacred work.
Exactly. It's not just about hitting the gym or eating right out of obligation.
Right.
It's recognizing that tending to your own being, your physical, mental health, connects you to everything. It's fundamental.
It's honoring your place in it all, work in its deepest sense, like you said, a sacred practice,
Le-
maintaining the instrument.
Yeah, I like that, maintaining the instrument. And Tolstoy, actually, in his Calendar of Wisdom, he echoes this, but maybe more broadly.
What did he say?
He basically called work the condition of existence for both our physical and our spiritual lives.
Condition of existence. That's strong.
It is. He even quotes that line from Thessalonians, "If any would not work, neither should he eat," which sounds harsh.
Yeah, a bit, especially today.
Right. But his point wasn't just about physical survival, about earning food. It was about spiritual well-being, too. Purposeful engagement nourishes the soul. He really warned against idleness, seeing it as creating this spiritual vacuum. He had this line, "The brain of a lazy and idle person is the favorite stopping place of the devil."
Wow. So disengaging from meaningful work leaves you open to destructive stuff.
That seems to be the idea. Not necessarily literal devils, maybe, but destructive thoughts, impulses, despair. It's about filling that potential void with purpose.
It makes you think about the difference between genuine rest and just stagnation, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's not about being busy constantly. It's about meaningful engagement.
And Goethe kind of reinforces that, right? With the
Yeah.
idea that nature is always developing.
Yes, nature does not stop in its development, and it executes all kinds of idleness. It highlights that stagnation really does lead to decay. Life is movement, growth, becoming.
So if we resist that, if we become idle in that deeper sense, we're kind of working against life itself.
That's the implication. You risk not just that spiritual vacuum Tolstoy mentioned, but a kind of personal decay.
Okay, but here's where it gets really practical and maybe hopeful, especially if you're coming out of one of those all is lost moments. When we actually do align with this principle, when we engage in that authentic action, whether it's self-care, creative work, whatever, something powerful happens.
Virtues.
Competence breeds confidence. That's the phrase used. Each authentic effort, each step taken from that core self, it builds you up.
Right, it creates an upward spiral. You do something authentic, you feel a bit more capable, which gives you the confidence to do the next thing.
Exactly. And it's not confidence based on external approval, is it? It's deeper.
No, it's intrinsic. It's rooted in the knowing that you, your essential self, can act, can create, can endure. It's forged in that crucible.
It's a confidence that comes from within, built on your own actions, aligned with who you really are. That feels much more solid.
It absolutely is. It's far more resilient than confidence, based on fleeting external things, because it's built on that rediscovered core. You know you can act, even after being stripped bare. That's foundational.
So this journey towards living from that authentic core, it also seems to demand a pretty radical honesty.
Yeah, honesty with yourself, first and foremost, but also with others. It's fundamental.
There's that simple but really powerful red flag test mentioned in the source material.
Which one is that?
If you have to sneak to do it, lie to cover it up, or delete it to avoid it being seen, then you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Oof. Yeah, that's direct.
It really is. It cuts right through the rationalizations. Those actions, sneaking, lying, deleting, they're like internal alarm bells.
Signals that you're moving away from your essential nature, from your
Right.
values.
Exactly. And ignoring those, especially after you've potentially found that core self in an all is lost moment, well, that's like building a brand new facade right after the old one got demolished.
And the cost of doing that is huge, isn't it? Psychologically, it creates this constant tension, this fragmentation. It drains energy, erodes that self-trust we were just talking about.
It does all the hard work.
Pretty much. Which leads to the question, okay, how do we live authentically day to day with all the pressures?
Seneca had some advice on that, didn't
He
he?
did. Ancient wisdom,
Yeah.
still relevant. He advised living in accordance with the nature of things, which essentially means aligning your actions with your deepest values, your inner compass.
Rather than just reacting to external expectations or trying to look good.
Exactly. Trusting that internal compass.
Yeah.
And Van Gogh, interestingly, touches on this too, from an artist's perspective.
What was his take?
He said something like, "Whoever loves much, performs much, and can accomplish much, and what is done in love is done well."
Ah, so the motivation matters, the authenticity behind the action.
Yes, work that comes from genuine care, from that authentic core self, it just has a different quality. It can't be faked with technique alone.
So for someone rebuilding, finding work that resonates, doing it with love, that's part of the healing, part of living authentically.
Definitely. It becomes productive and deeply healing.
But it feels like this whole journey, finding the core, acting authentically, being honest, it's not meant to be done alone, is it?
No, that's a really important point. We often have this image of The strong, silent hero forging ahead solo.
The stoic individual.
Right. But the wisdom we're exploring here points somewhere else. There's that line. When we say out loud what we don't know, it increases the likelihood that someone who does know will offer help.
Vulnerability as a strength again, a pathway to connection.
Exactly. Admitting you don't have the answers, especially when you're rebuilding after being knocked down, isn't weakness. It's an authentic act that invites connection, invites support.
Opens the door for help to come in.
Yeah. And Simon Sinek actually broadens this out to how we work together.
What's his perspective?
He says something like, the opportunity is not to discover the perfect company for ourselves. The opportunity is to build a perfect company for each other.
Ah, so individual authenticity serves the group.
That's the idea.
Uh,
When you show up authentically, honestly, maybe even vulnerably, you make it safer for others to do the same. You help build a more supportive, more honest, ultimately more effective environment for everyone.
It's like a collective building project based on individual truth.
Kind of, yeah. A collective deep dive into mutual support.
Okay, so we've talked about honesty, action, connection, but sometimes that path to authenticity, especially after a fall, involves something we instinctively run from.
Which is?
Pain. We're wired to avoid it, suppress it, numb it out.
Understandably so.
But what if pain isn't just the enemy? What if it's actually a guide,
Yeah.
a messenger?
That's a challenging idea, but it's central to some of this wisdom, developing an intimate relationship with our pain.
Instead of just pushing it away.
Right. Learning to listen. What is it telling you?
Yeah.
Pain often signals where we've gone off track, where boundaries were crossed, or where growth is needed. It can be a teacher.
A tough teacher.
Definitely a tough teacher. But facing it directly, with that same kind of courage Hopkins showed in the desert, with Hidalgo not turning away, but engaging honestly, that's where we discovered not just our endurance, but maybe our deepest values. It clarifies things.
It clarifies who we are when things get really tough. Seeing pain as a guide, that's a huge shift.
It is. And it connects to that wonderful Japanese proverb you mentioned.
Ah, yeah. We're fools whether we dance or not, so we might as well dance.
I love that one. It feels so liberating.
It does, because life is going to throw challenges at us, right? No matter how careful we are.
The curveballs will come, the all is lost moments, in big ways or small. It's inevitable.
So the proverb suggests, just engage fully. Dance with it. Don't hold back worrying about looking foolish or failing.
Pretty much. Meet the challenges with authentic commitment, because they're coming anyway.
And connecting that back to the all is lost moment. The desert comes for us all, doesn't it? Loss, failure, illness, isolation, just the daily grind sometimes.
It takes many forms. The question isn't if it will come, but how we choose to respond when it arrives.
Do we shrink? Or do we try to dance, bringing that authentic self we found at our core?
And that choice point, right there in the crucible moment, is profound. You can resist the stripping away, cling to the old illusions.
Try to keep the facade up.
Right. Or you can embrace the revelation. Embrace who you actually are in that moment. It's terrifying, yes, but also incredibly empowering.
Choosing to dance, choosing to engage from that core place is the authentic act.
Exactly. And the real heroes, maybe not in movies, but in life, aren't the ones who avoid the all is lost moment. They can't.
So who are they?
They're the ones who, when they are reduced to that essential nature, discover something incredible.
What's that?
That the essence is enough, more than enough. It's the source, the raw, unshakable source of all authentic strength, love, action. It's the bedrock.
The foundation you can actually build on, because it's been tested and it held.
Precisely. It's been tested by fire. And it's true. That's where real resilience comes from.
So we're all kind of fools in this big cosmic dance navigating the chaos.
We are. But fools with this amazing capacity, right? For genuine work, for authentic love, for deep connection.
Yeah. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening as you go about your day.
Consider this. The next time you hit one of those moments, a struggle where it feels like everything's being stripped away.
Instead of just fighting it or despairing, what if you leaned in? What if you tried to embrace what feels most vulnerable inside you? What new unbreakable strength might you discover right there in your essential unbreakable core? What will you choose to build from that place?